Welcome. Come on in to gardening and the bird. This here is my cherry tree. I'm gonna jump right in. She's roughly about 8 months in. We got some cherries off of her. I had her when she was pretty small. I have been trimming her to get her to grow the way I want her to grow, which is the stems clean on the bottom, and then I would like for her to bush out, which she is doing on the top. So as she gets taller, I just keep her trimmed a little. One of the reasons is my neighbor's yard's right there. He walks through to take his trash and stuff out, so I didn't want him to have to be pushing branches out his way just to walk through his yard. Another thing is, once I start getting fruit, I didn't want the fruit to be dropping all over in his yard. Second reason is I like to see what's going on everywhere. I don't like clutter in my house nor in my yard. So keeping the bottom clean, weed free, I can see what's going on up here. I can also get up underneath here if I need to check this bed right here out. I'm able to walk through here freely and see what is going on. So right now we're just gonna, I pretty much got the bottom part off camera, but I am just going to continue trimming her more so on the back so it's not in my neighbor's yard, and pulling a little weeds that I have growing around my Georgia collard greens. Let's clean up this area real quick because it is definitely a beautiful morning here in zone 9B. So come on, let's start clipping. So she is now all cleaned up. I will sprinkle some more straw down here, and it looked like I need to sprinkle some more in between my collard greens. And I even got back there in my compost bin, but she's all cleaned up. I got her turned in the way I would like her to go. As you can tell, it's clean in the back and she flows up front. Her stem is clean. Now back here is behind my raised bed. I'm planning on putting a privacy vinyl fence here soon, but it was so many weeds kept growing behind there, and it was so hard for me to get back there at the time because my whole bed right here was full, like literally full. So I went ahead and pulled rocks down there just to keep the weeds down, and as you could tell, they still come up, but it's much easier to go pull them out like that, and it keeps that area again clean, so I know there's nothing back there, so I can go tackle the few weeds that is there. But we're now going to come on over behind this bed, which has a lot of my herbs and my they say greenery, my brassicas in it, Got a couple of nasturtiums. It's about time for me to take my fall decorations down and put up my Christmas. But this is that bed, and right here as you can see, well, you can barely see because it's so weeded. All these weeds grew up here. Now I had sunflowers. As you could tell, Nicole, the little storm we just had, she knocked over a few of my sunflowers. So I'm gonna go ahead and just clean this up. I got my hoe. It works so much better than pulling them up with your hand, y'all. But I got my hoe, and I'm just gonna go and scrape all those weeds up and just clean that area up. Because at this point, I couldn't tell you what was back there. A snake might be back there. I don't know. And that's a problem with me. So let's go ahead and just clean this one up real quick. It shouldn't take long. It's still a little mist out here, a little damp out here. So we should still be good. Let's see. So you could see I cleaned it up pretty good. And I'll go to my local nursery today and buy some of the red pebble rocks. The rocks are expensive, and you don't have to use rocks for your landscaping in your yard or your garden. I have the red mulch in my flower garden in front of my home. But the rocks, the color just gives it a pop to the garden. But you can use newspaper, you can use cardboard, especially around here in the city. A lot of retail stores, they just throw it away in a compactor. You can get some cardboard boxes and break them down and spread them in your yard. Some people use the grow net, the black grow net, and just place it in there to keep the weeds and stuff from coming up. But I went ahead and did rocks, and as you can tell, it's time for me to drop another bag of rocks down. This been here about a year. You know, eventually they break down or get carried away with my kids, but I have a couple of weeds coming up, so I normally rock this pretty heavy. So I'll pull some weeds up, and then over here, you see I put rocks here. So I'm gonna get that corner right there next to my Texas sage. I'm gonna clean that up right now. I'm gonna pull some of these weeds, and I don't know, I might need maybe 6 bags of pebble rocks, because I'm just gonna really hit this side and that back corner that I just cleaned up, and hit that side for now. Like I said, the rocks are like almost $7. They're pretty expensive. So I have to buy, I normally buy like a bag every week or something like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and invest in it and buy 6 bags. So hopefully for the winter time, the weeds don't grow that fast and I won't have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and clean this up. A garden is not a put together and be done with it. As you can tell, my beds need more soil. The soil drop down, you got to fill the beds back up. The weeds come back, you got to clear the weeds if you want a nice clean garden area. I always told myself I don't think I can be a gardener because I'm too clean, but I'm making it work. I'm definitely making it work. So let's pull these weeds. Maybe you'll be able to see the Texas sage a little better. And that right there, I have some Irish Spring and bottles and soap laying around my garden for pests and stuff. So let's go ahead and clean up some of these weeds. See? There she is. This is a Texas sage. It's a herb, and it grows pretty purple flowers during the spring and fall just to give my garden a little color. She was completely dead. She looked like them stems right there. I had moved her. She was looking like those stems, and I have a habit of throwing anything away that's dead or ugly. And I stuck her back here hoping to forget her so I don't have to look at her, and now look at her. So I'm really hoping she bushes out, because she is a shrub as well, to bush out in that corner and fill that area right here for me. So we got that clear. Cleaned that out. Put on my checklist to get 6 bags of red pebble rocks. I'm taking my autumn/fall decorations down, and I'll box them up for next year. I'm not going to do anything with this bed. I see a lot of my peas are starting to come up. A lot of my white onions are coming up. My broccoli's looking good. My beans growing their flowers. You can see the flowers on them. So I'm just going to leave this bed alone. You can come in like this. You see the mushrooms? I leave mushrooms. I don't bother mushrooms, but I leave those leaves. Those leaves are not important. My tomato is doing good. Both of them. So we'll leave this bed alone. So let's go check out our mums real quick. So these are my mums. And I see again a couple of weeds that done came in the bed. I'm gonna try to pull some of them, not all of them. And this right here, I have the red rubber mulch, which is a lot cheaper. And I might get 6 bags of those just to fill this back up and make it look better. But this right here are the dead flowers. Sometimes I come through and deadhead them, pick them up, throw them away. I also come through to check for snails. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in just a moment. Y'all see that baby lizard? Y'all missed it. Because he ain't moving till I touched him. But the dead heads, I come and clip them. And I got to come back through anyway, so I'll pick them up. But you can leave the dead heads on your mums. But it will, if you cut them, it makes them grow faster. But let me show you something. Look at him. You see that? That's a snail. And he was eating. You don't want these on your mums. Well, you don't want them on none of your plants. They can kill your plant. And with me trying to be organic, I try to come out here every other day to pick them off. So, yep, that's a snail on my mom's. So let's go through here just real quick. No detail, just as you could tell, I seen him right off back. Let's pick some of these off. So it's getting better. It really is. About 4 weeks ago, I came out here and I literally had a Winn-Dixie garbage bag full of these on my mom's. Full of them. Now I come out here once a week and pick them off, shake the plant. Sometimes they fall off if you shake the plant, but I pick them off and I throw them away. These are what you call bad bugs for your garden. For your flowers, they will eat the flower head all the way down to the stem, and eventually your plant dies. For your vegetables, especially your greenery, lettuce, cabbage, collard greens, broccoli, they will eat it all the way to the stem and leave you nothing. See, these ones open right now, look. There's a couple of them open. So all I'm doing is just for to go ahead and trash these. So now all I have to do is come through, pull up a couple of weeds, and I think I'll pull the weeds as I drop the red rubber mulch down, because again it covers that up. So I'm only pulling like the big weeds. Drop that down and that'll bring this side of my house out just a little bit more. Now let's see what else we can do and garden in the bird on this beautiful morning. So here's my other bed, and as you can tell, this bed has my broccoli that's doing good. I think I have some turnips in here, some mustard collard greens, some carrots over there I thinned out the other day, and I am going to plant in this middle part some radishes and some beets right here, just so I can use this space up. But behind this bed, here's some weeds coming up here. By my knockoff rose. But behind this bed, starting here, if I move my broccoli's leaves over, you can see weeds grew up behind there. Now I'm not going to take the hole back there, but I don't want to I don't want to damage none of my broccoli stems or leaves. So I'm going to have to physically get back here with my hand and try to bring some of that stuff up, pull some of those weeds up, because I need to see what's back there. I apologize. Most people will probably leave it because the broccoli is covering it. I just don't like that something can be back there when I'm in my garden, where I'm reaching over, wiping off my broccoli leaves, or something like this one right here that's all yellow, pulling it. I don't want nothing to jump up at me. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys with me to my local nursery. I'm not sure if I want to go to a big box store or a small nursery, but I'll figure that out once I get in a car. But yes, I'm gonna go to a local nursery, grab a few things, and take you guys along with me. This is my sweet potato. Now, is that him? Something is eating my sweet potatoes on this plant anyway. I harvest one of my grow bags just like this of sweet potatoes the other day. I got so excited, y'all, I did not record, but I will put a picture up of what I harvest in this video somewhere. But it didn't look like this. This looks like something is eating it. So I may move her. I may even put her in a spot where I had the other one at, because something is clearly eating her over here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move her. Sometimes you can find pests on it, caterpillar, snail, but I really haven't been paying her no attention. She's been in this corner. I've been leaving her here, so I really haven't been monitoring her at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and move her to a place where I can see her daily and be able to check on her. So yeah, let's try to pull some of these weeds up before we head out to the store. Okay, so I changed my mind. I'm winding down, should I say, about cleaning behind the broccolis. I think I'll do that tomorrow. And behind my sage, I think I'll do that tomorrow. But I have my 2 Condor grapes right here. I just cleaned around this one. I also have some herbs that I stuck here. And as you could tell, you could barely see them because the weeds has taken over. So what I'm going to do is get down here and clean up around my grapevine and pull these weeds up so that I can see my herbs. So let's do that. So I didn't record me shopping at Home Depot. It was so crowded in the store. I really just wanted to get in and out. But this is the before that I was telling you about when I walked through and got the snails out of my flowers because they were eating them. So now we're going to go ahead and fill this bed up with some red mulch just to make it pop just a little. So come on, let's go fill it up. I hate the time change, you guys. This area right here, I wasn't for sure what I wanted to do with it. There is a tall pine tree over it. This side gets fairly amount of shade. Besides during the day, when the sun out, as you can tell, it comes from that way and it comes over like this. So for the most part, it's shade. So I didn't know what type of crops to grow here, so I decided to make it a flower bed. My daughter likes butterflies, so I decided to make it a flower bed and grow some flowers here. So what I got was the butterfly weeds. Now, when I went to the Home Depot, I originally bought this one, but then they had some of these right here, you guys, the smaller ones. So I'm gonna put some of those in here. And then we also got some, I wish I could find it. They are called Black Eyed Susans. I don't have them, but those are Black Eyed Susans, and that's a Black Eyed Susan. And I bought some Black Eyed Susans to put out here. And of course, I'm gonna get a couple of more. So I'm gonna fill this bed up with butterfly weed and Black Eyed Susans. They seem to take sun and shade, and they seem to work together with each other. The weeds, the worm, the weeds, the caterpillars eat, then the butterfly loves the flower of the Black Eyed Susan. So let me go ahead and plant these in real quick before it gets dark on me. Okay, so we are all done. There's the 2 I just planted. As you can tell, it's getting darker. So we're going to finish that up for today. We're going to be done with that. Don't forget to click like and share to support my channel. I am a new gardener that just starting out, and I would love for you guys to follow me on my journey. Take care, and don't forget, plant a seed.